Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and my 9-year-old, as many kids do, loves his candy. And he said something funny the other day I was just going to relay. We were telling him he needed to cut down on eating the candy, and I said, you're eating way too much candy. And he says, no, Dad, I'm not eating too much candy. I'm storing. He said, I don't eat too much candy. I store a lot of candy. So he's trying to show me I'm an idiot, and I need to understand there's a difference. He's not eating all that candy. He's just storing it for a later date to eat. And so that's okay. These kids get smart early. Now, check this out. I'm going to put this link in the top of the description of the video because this is big right here. Following 10 times growth in 2021, Link2 is fast approaching record-breaking milestone on the Link2 platform. In anticipation of these upcoming milestones, today's investments in Link2 will be rewarded with $1,000 in Link2 bucks bonus. Invest in Link2 now. That's Link2 private equity. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on this channel before, but my largest holding of private equity on the Link2 platform is the Link2 shares themselves, because I believe in what these guys are doing something that's never been done. Traditionally, if you wanted to buy private equity of any kind, I think the minimum investment was like $250,000. Well, on Link2, it's $10,000. They're literally democratizing private equity, and this $1,000 Link2 bucks, that's my understanding is that's $1,000 towards purchases of private equity, with the minimum investment being $10,000 at a time. So that's pretty significant. Okay, link will be at the top of the description. We're going to check in with the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, and I'm kind of surprised because cool guys like this, they spend plenty of time on yachts, but this is the biggest boat he's seen. Look at this. Watch.
All right, next up, we got to touch on Ripple and XRP and those good digital assets. Ripple just threw the biggest boat party I've ever seen. Why are they so happy? Because they know what's coming. Remember, you hear on the news, cryptos are going to be used for payments. But people think they're going to be the currency. Wrong. They're going to be used to help payments, the current system, the current currencies. It's going to be behind the scenes facilitating cross-border payments and settlements. Plus, you got Gemini and Swift coming out saying they're going to be using crypto technology for cross-border payments. Gemini, a couple of years ago, said Ripple is the one. All right, next up.
XRP is the one. Okay. Then there was this. Stellar had put this out on their Twitter feed, and I clipped out the important part. And I said, as I've said many times on this channel, it was never Bitcoin. It was never Ethereum. Proof of work does not work. It was always XRP and XLM. Don't take it from me. This is a woman who was skeptical about blockchain in general. Listen to what she says.
And so we did originally look at Ethereum and had somebody build a bit of a prototype for that, and it just wasn't the right technical fit. It was too slow, it was too expensive, and at the moment when someone is leaving their country with all of the cash that they have put into your digital product, that is not the time to introduce new currency or tell them to wait 10 minutes to an hour to know if their transaction has gone through. So we actually, we started this in grad school. We had a team of students that was helping us with market research, and one of the guys who was helping us out was presenting at this conference in Mexico, and afterwards, Californian guy came up to him and was like, hey, have you heard of Stellar? I think it'd be a really good fit for what you're doing. So totally random, but very thankful.
So I bought the XLM dip literally after watching that clip. Not that I didn't already know what she said, but the dips I buy in crypto while things are down are XRP and XLM. It is as simple as that. And so moving along now, I thought this was funny, so I put this together. I showed you the videos of Ripple House. I also yesterday showed you the video of this, so I put this together. It's called From Ripple Crack House to Ripple Yacht House. Bullish on XRP.
I had just managed to get a hold of a 41-bedroom crack house in San Francisco, and I mean, it was a disaster. I mean, I just got it. I was going to renovate it, live in it with friends, and make it nice. And I mean, we were sweeping up hypodermic needles. It was bad. And Chris said, I want you to tell me what you think the future is after Bitcoin, and I'll swing by and we can have a chat. So I put it on my phone, and I was helping my friend Eric move, and I wasn't paying attention. And I didn't see the notification. I left Chris in the kitchen of the old crack house. Maybe an hour.
From crack house to this.
Like, okay, this pretty much gets.
We've come a long way. Good job, Ripple. You've come a long way from your crack house days. Brad Garlinghouse put this out today. Ripple is committing to invest $100 million to modernize carbon markets globally through investing in carbon removal companies and supporting growth in the carbon credit tokenization functionality. Hear me out. NFTs aren't just about digital art. Carbon offset markets are expected to grow to $550 billion by 2050, and we've seen firsthand how crypto and blockchain can solve issues with fraud and inefficiencies and bring transparency and scalability to carbon credits, just the same as other real-world use cases like payments. Folks, I just feel so sorry. There's going to be a lot of people, when this is all said and done, that never did true. They were told by CNBC and all these people, oh, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that mess for all these years. When all that was this shiny little thing over here to the right, while the real freaking deal was XRP and XLM. Those people ought to be ashamed of themselves, but guess what? The digital asset investor is going to continue to tell you the truth until we see this thing through, because proof of work does not work. And that's a Ryan Zagone quote from Ripple a couple of years ago. Now, Digital Perspectives, Brad Combs found, well, he didn't find it, but so let's give proper credit. Not So Skinny, who goes by Big Skinny on Twitter, found this. And remember, Big Skinny is the official smart aleck of the Digital Asset Investor channel. He earned this title through very hard smart aleck work over the years. This guy is not afraid to tell you how he feels. So he provided this clip to Digital Perspectives, and I'll show you how it's relevant here in a sec. Listen.
Last week, the cryptocurrency market tanked again. The latest crash was triggered by a run on Terra, until recently the third largest so-called stable coin by market cap. Turns out it was not so stable. If you put $1,000 into Terra USD 10 days ago, while it was still being promoted as a safe bet, today you'd get $90 back.
Right, and remember, Mike Novogratz said that was a great investment in the XRP. Oh, XRP, he just doesn't get XRP. And you're uneducated if you invest in XRP. But you're educated if you invest in Luna.
And Terra isn't alone. $1,000 invested in Bitcoin in November would be worth $438 today. In fact, the average investor who put money into this can't-miss investment since last fall is underwater, a fact that the celebrity endorsers seem to have skipped over. But let's talk about who really lost money. Not the rich folks, not the insiders. No, it's ordinary investors.
We haven't heard. We know Pantera Capital sold their Luna, or 80% of their Luna, before the crash. And Mike Novogratz, we know he's buddies with the guy at Pantera Capital. Did he sell his? Is he one of the rich guys that got out and found out about what was going on early? He needs to explain that instead of just putting out tweets about how he regrets this and that. Tell us when you sold.
Online investor forums have been flooded with harrowing posts by people who feel they have nothing left and no way out. Some with their life savings wiped out. It smells a lot like 2008. So what I'd like to do is run through.
By the way, let me put something in perspective. This is the thing. There's a concerted effort by these politicians and the media to try to paint what's going on in the crypto market like this is the worst thing that's ever been because of what happened with Luna. It's not, folks. This is about my 5th or 6th time. We've had pullbacks a lot worse than this. I've been through them. I was here since 2013. They're trying to paint this like it's 2008. In crypto, because of how young the asset class is, these manipulators, whoever's behind manipulating it, I believe the government itself is the one that drives the prices down when they need to to use a political hammer. But this pullback is less than what I've seen in the past, 2 or 3 times. But they're trying to make it look like this one's somehow monumental because I believe they're trying to bring in their political solutions that they've had on the shelf, planned and ready to go for a while.
For ordinary investors in the crypto market and how they compare to protection in other financial markets. So, Mr. Barr, if I can, let's start with you. If I bought a company's stock, even the most hyped up, junkiest one listed on the New York Stock Exchange, could I be reasonably confident that the company is following basic rules that protect against fraud, insider trading, and sloppy cybersecurity protocols?
Thank you, Senator Warren. The area of jurisdiction obviously is within the expertise of the SEC, but I think that is a reasonable basis for concluding that.
Okay, so there would be that protection because right now, stablecoin and crypto token users aren't getting that same protection. Now, some stablecoin boosters claim they're safe because their stablecoins are backed by real assets like treasuries and cash, not fake tokens and an algorithm. But during last week's market turmoil, Tether, the world's largest stablecoin market cap, broke its dollar peg. And that was scary because it's an open secret that Tether is not actually backed one-to-one by treasuries and cash like it claims. So, Mr. Lizarga,
So it's important you see the guy that she was talking about because he's Michael S. Barr, former Treasury official Michael S. Barr, who joined Ripple Labs. They announced that he was, this was in 2015, they announced that he had joined the advisory board at Ripple. So this all goes in the All the World's a Stage file. But this was not all that she put out. I wanted to point this out too. This is Elizabeth Warren. You know, when people are being nominated to things, she's all concerned about ethics. But as with Jay Clayton, she was all concerned about his ties to Sullivan, Cromwell, and Goldman Sachs and all those guys before he became commissioner. Now she doesn't care at all. So we can't figure out here. She's doing the same thing with this guy.
Before I dive into my questions, I'd like to briefly address the ethical standards to which we hold our government officials. Mr. Barr, you're nominated to serve as one of the nation's most powerful regulators. Ethics rules require you to divest your holdings in stocks and other investments, which include investments in at least half a dozen crypto-related companies, if you are confirmed. But I previously asked you if you would go further and make the same historic ethics commitments that several other Fed nominees have made. Will you commit not to seek employment or compensation, including as a result of board service, from any company that has a matter before the Fed or any financial services company for 4 years after you leave government service?
Thank you, Senator Warner. Yes, I have committed to doing that, and I will do that.
Okay, so that's all fine and good, but why is she not concerned about what Jay Clayton did while he's at the SEC? We've shown more evidence than you can shake a stick at, and this woman doesn't care at all because it might interrupt her buddy Gary Gensler and what he's doing now. And the truth is, she doesn't give a rip about ethics. If she did, she'd have Jay Clayton in front of her committees right now, but she doesn't. Jeremy Hogan weighed in. Here, remarkably, SEC won't even concede that certain speeches were made and that the transcripts on their own website are accurate transcripts of the speeches. The failure by the SEC Council wastes time, money, and resources. Or, Jeremy, it stalls, which was the whole point of dropping this case in the first place, which was to use it as a weapon. Time is what they're trying to waste. Here's old Gary, and before I play this video, I want to remind you of Gary's quote when he was with Tim Draper. He says, let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that will have to change the most or lose market share, and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
But right now, the investing public in all communities are not well protected. In terms of what this committee can do is help us get, again, we're not trying to grow really significantly, but resources to grow at least 6% and grow our enforcement arm in this space. Exchanges are trading against their customers. They literally are making markets versus their customers. They're holding the what's called the private key. If they lose them or there's hacks, guess what? The public will just have to get in line like they're in bankruptcy court.
I don't ever hear him talking about JP Morgan and the manipulation of the silver market. And then there's this. Breaking, the chair of the CFTC said Bitcoin uses too much energy compared to the economic value of the digital asset, and that ESG disclosures provided to purchasers of digital assets could help move the industry to proof of stake. We don't need proof of stake because we have consensus by Ripple and Stellar, okay? But look at the narrative, folks. And that ESG disclosures provided purchasers of digital assets could help move the industry to proof of stake. Well, who's moving to proof of stake? Who's currently issuing their second security? That would be Ethereum 2.0 and Joseph Lubin. They're currently issuing Ethereum, or they're in the process after 7+ years of trying to put out Ethereum 2.0 that they've now changed the name of because of the negative connotation. They're now trying to put out their second security, Ethereum 2.0, which is proof of stake. And this is the CFTC guy. And also, Jay Clayton is now being, since he's a contributor at CNBC, instead of being asked questions about his conflicts of interest, he's being asked about ESG rankings. What do all these things have in common? A pro-Ethereum slant. Win investigation, Elizabeth Warren. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that these people smell rotten as the buzzards that tried to land in my deer stand and nest, and they vomited and did number 1, number 2, and every number you can think of for 6 months. And it was so bad that my dad, the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, had to get in there and clean it up because I did not have the stomach for it. I don't know how he did. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.